Latvia is a country of contrasts, where medieval architecture meets sweeping landscapes, dense forests, and serene coastlines along the Baltic Sea. Its history is a layered tapestry of conquest, migration, and resilience, which is reflected in the diversity of its population. Understanding the major ethnic groups that call Latvia home offers a window into the country's social, cultural, and economic fabric, showing how centuries of movement, settlement, and cultural exchange have shaped modern Latvian society. The Latvians, the indigenous people of the land, form the majority at approximately 63.7% of the population. Their history stretches back over a millennium, with archaeological evidence showing settlements along the Baltic coast as early as the 1st millennium AD. The Latvian language, part of the Baltic branch of the Indo-European family, is one of the oldest living languages in Europe, retaining features that have disappeared from most other Indo-European tongues. Language and folklore are central to Latvian identity, and many traditions have been preserved across generations, particularly through seasonal festivals. Jāņi, the Midsummer Festival, is perhaps the most emblematic, celebrated with bonfires, songs, dancing, and ritualistic customs that honor nature and the changing seasons. Latvians historically lived in small villages and rural communities, working the land as farmers, foresters, and craftsmen. This deep connection to the countryside persists today, with many Latvians still residing in smaller towns or villages where community bonds remain strong. Average house prices in rural Latvia range from €700 to €1,000 per square meter, making countryside living both affordable and appealing to those seeking a quieter, nature-connected lifestyle. Cities like Riga, Liepāja, and Daugavpils, however, offer a more modern lifestyle while still retaining elements of traditional Latvian culture, with average apartment prices in Riga around €848 per square meter. Ethnic Russians are the largest minority in Latvia, making up around 23.4% of the population. Their presence is most notable in urban centers, particularly Riga, Daugavpils, and Ventspils. While Russians have lived in Latvia in various capacities since the 18th century, their numbers expanded dramatically during the Soviet era due to state-directed migration policies that brought workers, administrators, and military personnel from Russia and other parts of the USSR. Many settled in industrial towns, contributing to urbanization and the expansion of Latvia's industrial economy. Russian communities in Latvia have maintained a strong cultural presence, including the Russian Orthodox Church, Russian language schools, and cultural organizations. Despite integration efforts, language barriers have created occasional tension, as some ethnic Russians do not speak Latvian fluently, influencing social, educational, and political participation. Russian cultural festivals, theatrical productions, and culinary traditions enrich Latvian society, from traditional Russian Orthodox Easter celebrations to cuisine like pelmeni and borscht, which have become part of the local culinary landscape. Housing in Russian-majority areas tends to be slightly higher in cost due to urban location, typically between €900 and €1,200 per square meter, reflecting demand for city apartments close to schools, workplaces, and cultural centers. Ukrainians, though smaller in number, have increasingly become a notable presence in Latvia, comprising about 2.8% of the population. Their migration has occurred in waves, most recently intensifying due to the political instability and conflict in Ukraine. Historically, Ukrainians migrated to Latvia seeking work, safety, and stability, often settling in urban areas where economic opportunities were available. Ukrainian communities in Latvia have successfully preserved their traditions, including folk music, dance, Orthodox and Greek Catholic religious practices, and distinctive culinary customs. Many Ukrainian-run businesses have contributed to local economies, particularly in Riga, where they operate restaurants, shops, and service-oriented businesses. Integration has been smoother for many younger Ukrainians, who attend Latvian schools or universities while participating in cultural exchange programs. Housing prices in areas with growing Ukrainian populations typically range from €1,000 to €1,300 per square meter, reflecting the urban demand and desire for modern, convenient living spaces. Belarusians make up about 2.9% of Latvia's population, with migration dating back to the 19th and early 20th centuries. Many Belarusians fled political repression or sought economic opportunities, settling in both urban and rural areas. Over time, they have maintained their linguistic and cultural identity, practicing Orthodox Christianity, celebrating Belarusian folk traditions, and maintaining cultural associations that promote language and arts. Belarusian influence is seen in certain communities through traditional crafts, folk music, and culinary contributions, including dishes like draniki and borscht variations adapted to Latvian tastes. Belarusians have been particularly active in cultural preservation and community engagement, creating organizations and events that strengthen communal bonds. Housing in areas with a notable Belarusian presence ranges from €950 to €1,200 per square meter, offering a mix of affordability and access to urban resources. Poles, comprising around 1.9% of the population, represent a historical minority whose presence dates back several centuries. Their migration to Latvia often occurred during periods of political upheaval in Poland, with communities establishing themselves in Latgale and Riga. Poles in Latvia have maintained their cultural identity through language, Catholicism, and traditional festivals. Polish schools, cultural centers, and churches continue to serve as hubs for preserving language and customs, fostering intergenerational continuity. Polish Latvians have also contributed to the professional and academic sectors, working as teachers, artisans, and entrepreneurs. Housing in Polish-majority areas, especially in urban settings, typically ranges from €1,000 to €1,300 per square meter, reflecting the value placed on community cohesion and proximity to cultural and religious institutions. Lithuanians, although a smaller group at around 1.1% of the population, share close linguistic and cultural ties with Latvians, stemming from a common Baltic heritage. Lithuanian migration to Latvia increased in the 19th and 20th centuries, primarily for economic opportunities, trade, and stability. The Lithuanian community has integrated well into Latvian society while preserving its heritage, including language, Catholicism, and annual cultural festivals. Lithuanian Latvians often engage in business and educational pursuits, bridging connections between the two Baltic nations. Housing in areas with a notable Lithuanian presence is generally between €1,000 and €1,200 per square meter, offering access to urban centers while maintaining community networks. The housing market in Latvia varies considerably between urban and rural areas. Riga, as the capital and largest city, offers a dynamic real estate environment with apartments averaging around €848 per square meter as of mid-2024. Demand in the city is influenced by economic growth, urbanization, and the influx of young professionals and expatriates. In contrast, smaller towns and rural areas provide more affordable options, ranging from €700 to €1,000 per square meter, often appealing to families seeking space, greenery, and a quieter pace of life. Coastal areas like Jurmala and Liepāja have experienced fluctuations in property values, influenced by tourism, seasonal demand, and local economic factors, with houses averaging €1,200 to €1,500 per square meter for waterfront properties. Latvia's appeal extends beyond affordable housing. The country boasts a robust education system, with universities like the University of Latvia and Riga Technical University attracting international students. Healthcare standards are strong, with accessible public and private options. Economic opportunities have expanded in sectors such as information technology, finance, logistics, and creative industries, drawing both local talent and foreign investment. Latvia's strategic location in Northern Europe facilitates trade, tourism, and cultural exchange, making it an attractive base for businesses seeking access to the broader European market. Furthermore, the country's quality of life is enhanced by its natural landscapes, including national parks, forests, rivers, and the Baltic coastline, offering abundant opportunities for recreation, sports, and outdoor activities. Culturally, Latvia thrives as a nation that balances tradition with modernity. Folk music, dance, and festivals remain integral, with events like the Latvian Song and Dance Festival, recognized by UNESCO, attracting participants from across the nation and the diaspora. Cuisine reflects the country's agricultural roots and multicultural influences, from hearty rye bread and potato dishes to Russian, Polish, and Ukrainian culinary contributions. Latvian cities feature vibrant art scenes, museums, and theaters, providing residents with diverse cultural experiences, while rural communities maintain traditional crafts, woodwork, and agricultural practices. Latvia's ethnic diversity has shaped its social and political landscape. Each group contributes to the nation's economy, education, cultural life, and political discourse. The interplay of these communities fosters a dynamic, resilient society capable of preserving heritage while embracing globalization. Migration, both historical and contemporary, continues to influence demographics, economic development, and cultural exchange, reinforcing Latvia's position as a multicultural hub in the Baltic region. Understanding these communities' histories, motivations for moving to Latvia, and cultural contributions provides valuable insight into the country's past, present, and future trajectory. In conclusion, Latvia's population is a living mosaic of histories, languages, and cultures. Indigenous Latvians, Russians, Ukrainians, Belarusians, Poles, and Lithuanians each bring unique perspectives, traditions, and experiences, creating a society that is as complex as it is cohesive. Housing trends, economic opportunities, and cultural vibrancy make Latvia an increasingly attractive destination for residents, expatriates, and investors alike. The nation's ability to honor its past while fostering growth and integration ensures that Latvia remains a distinctive, welcoming, and dynamic country in the heart of Europe. Its ethnic diversity, historical depth, and modern amenities together form a story of resilience, adaptation, and community that continues to evolve, making Latvia a nation well worth exploring and understanding in its full richness.